My friend, let's begin with something simple. You don't need to change your whole life in one day. You only need to protect a small part of your day, a habit that belongs completely to you. Maybe it's 1 hour, maybe 2. But those hours will decide who you become. Many people say, I don't have time. But look closer. You have time for your phone, for scrolling, for chatting, for noise. Yet you say you don't have time for yourself. The truth is, time is not missing. Focus is. Focus means giving your full attention to one thing, without letting your mind wander. When you give yourself a small block of time every day, something powerful starts to grow. You begin creating a habit, not by luck, but by choice. A habit is something you do regularly, almost automatically, without thinking too much, like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. But this new habit is different. It's designed to build your future, not waste your time. Start small. 1 hour, maybe 2. Use that time to read, to plan, to learn, to think. At first, it might feel slow, maybe even boring. But every small effort you repeat becomes energy, unstoppable energy. We call this momentum, the force that keeps you moving once you start. And here's the truth. Discipline, not motivation, turns that momentum into real success. Because motivation is like fire, bright but short. Discipline is like the sun, steady, reliable, always there. Motivation feels exciting. It's that spark that makes you say, yes, I'll change my life today. But motivation depends on feelings, and feelings always change. You feel inspired in the morning, but tired in the evening. You feel strong today, but lazy tomorrow. That's why motivation fades so quickly. Discipline is different. Discipline means doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. It's the quiet strength that keeps you steady when emotions rise and fall. Motivation helps you begin the journey, but discipline helps you finish it. Think about a student at the start of the school year. On the first day, everyone feels excited, new notebooks, new goals, fresh energy. But after a few weeks, the excitement fades. Only a few students keep studying every day. Those are the disciplined ones. They don't always feel motivated, but they show up anyway. And in the end, they are the ones who pass the exam. Motivation is like wind. It can push your sailboat for a while. But when the wind stops, you still need to row. That's discipline. Discipline gives you control when life feels uncertain. It doesn't ask, do I feel ready? It asks, did I promise myself to do this? And something beautiful happens when you act from discipline. Your identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who only works when inspired. You start to see yourself as someone who keeps promises to yourself. And that's real power. Because every small promise you keep builds trust inside you. And that trust becomes your foundation, your quiet confidence. Let's go a little deeper now. If discipline is the engine, then your daily habit is the road that keeps it moving forward. Without a road, even the best engine goes nowhere. That's why building and protecting your habit matters so much. First, start small. Big changes fail because they scare your brain. But small actions feel safe, and that's how you begin. 10 minutes today is better than one perfect plan you never start. If 10 minutes feels easy, add a little more tomorrow. Habits grow the same way trees grow, quietly, little by little. Now, choose when your habit will live. Morning works for some, evening for others. The best time is the one you can protect every day, without excuses. Protecting time means you treat it like gold. You don't cancel it, you don't move it, you don't give it away. You lock it in your schedule like an important meeting with yourself. And when that time comes, remove all distractions. Your phone, your notifications, your noise. The world will always ask for your attention, but you have to choose when to give it. Protecting time is not selfish, it's smart. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you take time to grow, you come back stronger for everyone else too. During that time, focus on one thing only. Not 2, not 3, just 1. If you're learning English, don't jump between grammar, reading, and TikTok. Choose one skill, one lesson, one goal. Because focus is what turns minutes into progress. Focus means full attention, no noise, no switching. You'll notice at first it's not easy. Your brain will look for shortcuts. You'll feel the urge to check your phone, to grab a snack, to take a break. That's normal. Every time you resist that urge, your discipline muscle grows stronger. And just like in the gym, the more you train it, the easier it gets. So, how do you protect this new habit in real life? Here's a simple rhythm you can follow. Wake up, breathe, plan your 2 hours, and start before your excuses start. If something interrupts you, don't give up completely. Even 15 minutes counts. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Because consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates change. Imagine this. 1 hour of true focus every day equals over 300 hours in a year. That's like studying for 2 full weeks without sleep. The math is simple, but the effect is powerful. Your life doesn't change in a day. It changes through the hours you protect. So build the habit. Protect it like something precious. Because it is. And every time you honor that time, you are sending a message to your future self. I'm serious about my growth. I'm building something real. Keep that promise. Stay steady. And soon, the hours you once protected will begin to protect you. Now that you've built your daily habit, let's talk about the secret that multiplies its power. Focus. Focus is your hidden superpower. It's what separates being busy from being productive. You see, many people spend the whole day working. But at night they ask themselves, what did I really finish? That's because they were busy, not focused. They moved from one thing to another, replying to messages, checking phones, opening tabs. And by the end of the day, their energy was gone. Focus means the opposite. It means full attention, full presence, one task, one goal. When you focus deeply, your brain enters what scientists call a flow state. A moment when you forget time, when thinking feels clear and your work feels effortless. That's deep work, work that matters, work that moves you forward. Imagine a magnifying glass under the sun. If you move it around quickly, nothing happens. But if you hold it still, the light becomes fire. Your attention works the same way. Scattered attention is weak. Focused attention is power. So when you begin your daily habit, maybe reading, writing, or studying, don't multitask. Don't try to do everything at once. Multitasking feels productive, but it's really the art of doing many things badly. When you jump between tasks, your brain restarts again and again. You lose time and you lose energy. Focus is simple, but not easy. It requires silence. And silence is rare today. The world is loud, notifications, opinions, endless noise. But your progress grows in quiet spaces. That's why focus is not just about attention. It's also about environment. Find your quiet place. It doesn't need to be perfect. A small desk, a corner of your room, even a coffee shop with calm music. Once you sit there, train your brain. This is my focus space. When I'm here, I work deeply. Repeat that every day, and soon your mind will enter focus faster, like a switch turning on. Try this. Set a timer for 40 minutes. During that time, no phone, no switching tabs, no messages. Work deeply. Then rest for 10 minutes. This is called a focus block. 2 or 3 of these blocks a day can change how you learn, create, and think. Deep work feels hard at first because your mind is used to jumping. But after a week, you'll notice something. Your thoughts become sharper. Your memory feels stronger. You finish tasks faster, and your confidence grows quietly. Focus also brings peace. When you give all your attention to one thing, you stop worrying about what you're not doing. Your mind relaxes because it finally knows where to be. Here, now doing one thing well. And here's the beautiful part. True rest only comes after true focus. When you've done deep, meaningful work, your rest feels earned. Your mind feels light. You don't need to escape your work anymore, because your work itself gives you satisfaction. So, remember this. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it fully. The world rewards those who can pay attention when others can't. Protect your focus. Build it like a muscle. Because once you master focus, you can turn ordinary hours into extraordinary progress. You've built your habit. You've learned how to focus. Now let's talk about something that turns your effort into wisdom. Reflection. Reflection means looking back not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. It's the quiet moment when you ask, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? Just a few minutes of honest thinking can save you hours of repeating mistakes. Most people move fast but never pause. They jump from one task to another, one goal to the next, without ever asking why. Without reflection, you work hard but grow slow. With reflection, every experience becomes a lesson. Think of reflection as a mirror for your mind. When you stop and look, you see patterns, the small things that help you, and the habits that hold you back. Maybe you realize you study best in the morning. Maybe you notice you lose energy after too much social media. Once you see clearly, you can change wisely. You don't need a big journal or long analysis. Just ask yourself 3 gentle questions each night. What made me proud today? What drained my energy? What can I improve tomorrow? Write 1 sentence for each. That's enough to keep your direction clear. Reflection is not only about learning from the past, it's also about connecting with your future self. The person you will become 1 year from now depends on what you do today. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every small act of discipline. That's self-investment. Self-investment means giving your time, energy, and attention to grow your own value. It's the smartest investment you'll ever make, because you are the only asset that never loses worth. When you invest in yourself, opportunities start to find you. You think better, speak better, decide better. And when challenges come, you're ready. Many people say, I'll invest in myself when I have more time. But that's like saying, I'll start exercising when I'm already strong. The truth is, growth starts before you feel ready. Even small investments matter. A few pages of a good book, a short practice session, 1 honest reflection. They look tiny today, but they build invisible strength for tomorrow. Imagine 2 people with the same background. One spends every free minute scrolling. The other spends those same minutes learning, thinking, and reflecting. After a year, they live in 2 completely different worlds. The difference is not luck, it's self-investment. When you make time to reflect, you also build humility. You admit you don't know everything, and that's how you keep learning. You forgive yourself for mistakes, but also demand more from yourself next time. That balance, kind but firm, is the foundation of true growth. So tonight, when the world gets quiet, take a breath and look back. Ask yourself, did I use my time well? Did I honor my 2 hours? Did I grow even a little? And if the answer is yes, smile. Because that's progress. Reflection turns action into understanding. Self-investment turns understanding into power. Together, they turn ordinary days into a life of quiet confidence. So keep showing up, keep learning, keep reflecting. And remember, the best project you will ever work on is yourself. Let's talk about your future self, the version of you that you are quietly building every single day. That person is already waiting for you, shaped by every small choice you make right now. Every time you protect your 2 hours, every time you stay disciplined, every time you focus deeply, you are sending a message to your future self. I'm taking care of you. And one day, that future version of you will look back and say, thank you. You see, the power of change is not in one big effort. It's in consistency. Consistency means doing something again and again, even when you don't see results yet. It's showing up on the days when it's boring, when it's raining, when no one is watching. That's what builds strength. That's what builds trust in yourself. Think of a drop of water falling on a rock. One drop means nothing. But day after day, the water keeps falling, gentle, steady, patient. And one day, the rock breaks. Not because the water is strong, but because it's consistent. Your habits work the same way. 5 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of practice, a short walk, 1 reflection. They all look small today, but done every day, they create invisible progress. And suddenly, 1 year later, you look back and realize you've changed. Consistency is also a form of love for your future self. When you choose discipline over comfort, you're not punishing yourself. You're protecting your tomorrow. When you choose focus over distraction, you're building freedom for the future. When you choose learning over laziness, you're creating opportunities that don't even exist yet. Your future self is built by today's habits. So before you sleep, ask yourself, did I do something today that my future self will thank me for? Even one small action counts. Because 1 hour a day of honest effort is worth more than 10 hours of half-hearted work. And one small step taken every day will always beat one giant step that never happens. You can't control luck. You can't control the world. But you can control your consistency, your rhythm, your effort, your attitude. And when you do that, the world slowly begins to respond. So keep going. Even when no one notices. Even when it feels slow. The results will come quietly, like sunrise after a long night. And when that moment arrives, when your future self looks back, they won't remember how tired you were, or how many times you wanted to quit. They'll remember one thing: you didn't stop. You stayed consistent. You kept your promise. And that simple choice, repeated every day, changed everything. Let's bring everything together. All the ideas, all the lessons, they return to one simple truth. You don't need to change your whole life in a single day. You just need to protect 2 hours and give them completely to yourself. This is what I call the 2-hour rule. 2 hours for learning, for growing, for thinking, for creating. 2 hours when you disconnect from noise and reconnect with purpose. 2 hours that belong not to your job, not to your phone, not to the world, but to you. It may sound small, but those 2 hours are powerful. They shape your discipline, sharpen your focus, and build your momentum. They become the quiet foundation that carries your dreams forward. Because success is not built in a rush. It's built slowly, gently, hour by hour, habit by habit. The people you admire didn't become great overnight. They simply protected their time and respected their growth. If you use your 2 hours wisely, you'll begin to feel something shift inside you. You'll think clearer, move calmer, and believe in yourself more deeply. You'll start to notice progress where there used to be frustration. And that progress will give you confidence, not loud confidence, but quiet, strong, unshakable confidence. Imagine your life 1 year from now. 700 hours of practice. 700 hours of reflection. 700 hours of becoming the person you always wanted to be. That's what these 2 hours a day can create. And it's not about perfection. It's about direction. Some days you'll do less, some days more. But as long as you keep coming back, you are winning. Because growth is not about how fast you move, it's about never stopping. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, when will I start my 2 hours tomorrow? Then guard that time. Protect it like treasure. And when the world tries to steal it, smile and remember why it matters. Because those 2 hours are not just time. They are a message to your future self that says, I'm choosing growth over comfort. I'm choosing focus over distraction. I'm choosing to build a life that truly belongs to me. Every great transformation begins with one small promise. This is yours, 2 hours every day just for you. One day you'll look back, calm, proud, grateful, and whisper to yourself, thank you for protecting those hours. Thank you for building this life. Thank you for believing before the results appeared. That is the power of the 2-hour rule. A small daily gift that becomes the story of your success. Thank you, my friend, for spending this time with me today. Remember, your English grows when your mind grows too. So protect your time, stay curious, and keep showing up for yourself. If this podcast inspired you, listen again tomorrow, slowly, calmly, naturally. Because every word you repeat builds confidence. And every small habit builds your future. This is English Story Hub, your quiet space to learn, reflect, and grow. One day, one word, one habit at a time. See you in the next episode.